Hey guys, what's up? It's Contrary. I know that my channel is primarily a Super Smash Brothers channel, given that 1 out of 1 videos have been about Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. But today I thought I would try my hand at a competitive Pokemon video. And so I'm going to build a team for the Smogon OU metagame using what are known as 3-type cores. If you're familiar with Smogon and with competitive singles, you probably know what a type core is, but I thought I'd reiterate for those who are a little bit newer or are interested in trying the game out. The 3 cores that see the most usage are the Fire, Water, Grass core, the Steel, Fairy, Dragon core, and the Fighting Dark Psychic core. And yeah, so what is a core? Basically, it's when you take a variety of types that cover each other's weaknesses and strengths very, very well. The classic type triangle, Fire, Water, Grass, is the best example of this. You can look at all the weaknesses of each type, and typically, what do you see? You see Heatran's going to be weak to fighting, water, and ground. Well, as it turns out, Venusaur resists fighting with its poison type, it resists water with its grass type, and resists ground with its grass type. So that's just the freest switch-in when you think they're going to hit Heatran with a special effective move, or super effective move. And then you see Slowbro is weak to Dark, particularly Knockoff, Electric, and Grass, and also Ghost. And as it turns out, Heatran does very, very decently when you send it in against most special electric type Pokemon, and Venusaur resists electric. Venusaur does not care about knockoff at all because it can't lose its Megastone. Yeah, neither of them care about the grass type, and neither of them are too hurt when it comes to Psychic or Ghost, assuming it's the correct bulk. Typically, you'll have like Heatran specially defensive or regularly bulky, and then Venusaur the opposite type of bulky, just to make this a really nice kind of triple core. And their offensive strengths kind of tend to do the same thing. In the same way that their defensive typings work. Another example, yeah, is this Steel, Fairy, Dragon type. Steel is immune to poison, which is the huge weakness of Fairy type. Fairy completely resists, or is completely immune to Dragon, leaving you with 2 immunities just in a core already. Dragon type is immune to most of those elemental attacks that give these 2 problems. Lottie is completely immune to Earthquake from anyone but Moldbreaker Pokemon, as well as resisting water and resisting electricity and resisting grass. Like, this is a really sturdy core, but also they're known for their good offensive strength as well. Like, these 3 can be devastating if you don't have a good check for them. And you see the same sort of thing with Fighting, Dark, and Psychic cores, but more so in an offensive-oriented way. The Pokemon that you use in these cores tend to be a little bit more frail, but can pack a major, major punch if you have advantage. So I thought, wouldn't it be kind of cool if we took all 3 of these typing cores and made one competitively viable OU team using only like really, really, really good Pokemon. I know that when I've tried this sort of idea in the past, I've gone with a little bit more quirkier picks. Like last gen, Dragonite was decent but not super strong, and that was on my signature team. I tried some funky stuff, but this time I'm going to just do a no-nonsense triple core and see how it goes. So we have that over here for you. Oh, and I'll move my screen that way. There we go. So yeah, here's the team I ended up with. You see that between Kartana, Volcarona, and Greninja, or Ash Greninja more specifically, you get this nice fire water grass core. Between Kartana, Zygarde, and Tapu Lele, you get that steel Dragon Fairy. And between Greninja, Tapu Lele, and Hawlucha, you get the nice dark psychic fighting. And so that's all 3 of those typing cores with 6 of the most viable Mons in OU. And yeah, just from the get-go, this team looks terrifying. And that's before you kind of fine-tune the EVs and pick all the right moves and really get a feeling for what your team's going to look like. So let's just go through the sets and see how we can make this as good as possible given what we have. So yeah, here we have Rogueport, my Kartana, named for obviously the first level in Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. It's running Leaf Blade as its signature stab, Sacred Sword to kind of hit those bulky steel types really, really hard, and anything really that switches in that does decently against grass type. And then we have Knockoff as both a utility move and a move to hit Ghost and Psychic Pokemon pretty hard. I know that if we're up against, say, Blacephalon or a Mega Alakazam, Knockoff comes in very, very, very handy. And then, given that we have Pokemon that aren't super bulky, and we have one Pokemon right here, our Volcarona, that struggles a lot with rocks, I figured we'd throw on that Emergency Defog and just make it a Choice Scarf set. Having some blinding speed without any need for setup, I think, is important for any team, but especially HO teams. So yeah, this is, I think, a really strong place to start. And so from there, we have Volcarona, our Oolong, who I named for the combination of of having fire, grass, which is Oolong, the tea leaf, that's known to have kind of an earthy, subtle flavor. There's my nerdy-ass Pokemon nickname for you. But yeah, we decided to go with the Firium Z set because of just how ridiculously hard it hits. You set up a Quiver Dance, get that up speed, up special defense, up special attack, and you can nuke anything you want with Firium Z. You can hit Heatran with Hidden Power Ground. You can hit Bulky Waters with Giga Drain and get your health back. And because you have Quiver Dance set up, you can tank a Water Hit a little bit better. Really, the only thing that stops this set is something bulky with Haze after it gets going. And this is going to be a kind of a common theme. You're going to see a lot of Pokemon that really tend to snowball. Here we have our Ash Greninja, Dacus, named for the Dash Attack Cancel Up Smash in Super Smash Bros. And we did mostly the classic set here, with the Hydro Pump, the Dark Pulse, and the Water Shuriken, giving us a strong stab move, a really decent middle road move with Dark Pulse that can flinch, and Water Shuriken for priority, all boosted by these choice specs. But where I kind of decided to take a diverting path with this set is on the last move. I guess not so much anymore, but you used to see Ice Beam all the time on Greninja. But I feel like it's as of late, it's been a lot less optimal. Really what you should be going for here is something tailored towards your team. And since my team does not struggle at all with bulky grass types, given that I have strong Flying Stab and Acrobatics, huge Fire Nukes with Fire Blast and Firium Z, I can still hit grass types decently hard with Choice Specs Dark Pulse, and if for some reason grassy terrain is up, that's to my advantage since I have a Leaf Blade going. I don't really struggle with grassy or bulky grass types on this team very much. So yeah, I went with Spikes. Given that my team's all about snowballing advantage, I want to give Greninja the ability to just throw out a spike or two, have to force the opponent to struggle with that, and use that situation to switch in optimally and just get the ball rolling. Which leads us to Zygarde, who I've nicknamed Cell. Kind of a cop-out nickname, but I'll think of a better one later. But this is the bulky substitute. Or no, this isn't bulky. This is the Figgy Berry substitute double dance set. 1,000 Arrows, obviously the signature move, helps take down flying type Pokemon. I could have used Extreme Speed instead of Substitute, but if what I'm looking to do is kind of snowball advantage, and just kind of go apeshit once I get going, I feel like Substitute does that a bit better, especially given that we have Quaylog's Psychic Terrain preventing Extreme Speed at certain times. So if we can get a Coil and a Dragon Dance up, maybe against something like Ferrothorn that can't outright just nuke us, you can really, I don't know, press that advantage state. And then we have Quaylog. So I usually name my Tapu Lele Quaylog if it has Hidden Power Fire, or if it's a Stall Breaker set. And what I decided to do was go for a bluff of choice specs with Modest Odd Incense. Since we do already have kind of specs here on Dacus, and do Psyshock to cover anything that Calm Minds on us. Do Moonblast to obviously get that secondary stab in there. Do Shadow Ball if we bluff Psychic and we bluff that we're locked into Psyshock and nuke anything that comes in trying to take advantage of that. And then I have Taunt to really just kind of press the fire and put pressure on Stall teams, because everyone fucking hates going up against Stall. This set goes so hard on an opponent's team. Maybe I'll change Shadow Ball to Hidden Power Fire. I don't know. We'll decide that later. And then last but not least, we have our fighting type Hawlucha that once its Psychic Seed bursts, you get a special defense raise, and you double the speed with Unburden. And after you've Unburdened, you double the power of Acrobatics. So you just out of nowhere, after Tapu Lele has been on the field, you get double power Acrobatics, a little bit more bulk to survive special hits. You can Roost to recover damage. You can Swords Dance to snowball that advantage. And you can just, I don't know, Psychic and Fighting is just such a scary stab coverage. But yeah, this can really do whatever you need it to. It can revenge kill if you need to not lose the game and get that speed up as soon as possible. It can shatter through walls, especially if you play mind games with them using, I don't know, status moves or protect or what have you. And yeah, it completes out that last core. So here's our end team. And if you look at kind of all the other aspects, it's nice and balanced. We have an immunity to Electric here, which is nice for a Hawlucha. We have an immunity to Dragon, which is nice for our Zygarde. We have something that resists Ice for our Dragon. We have something that's immune to Psychic for our Fighting type. We have another immunity to Poison. We just have all these things that look out for some weakness of another teammate. And that really, really does a lot of work for you when you're running a hyper-offensive team. So really all you got to do to make a decent amount of waves with this team is find your advantage, pick the right lead, and just pressure the opponent and make them slip up. Because once you have a couple spikes up and you just get one advantage switch and maintain that momentum, you can completely snowball and completely wipe out another team. But yeah, so I hope you guys like it. I've been laddering with this, and I got to about 1,600, no problem. So yeah, give it a try. Let me know what you think, and give me any ideas that you can think of for future team building videos.